All right, so are you ready to dive into willpower
Always.
with David Goggins?
Yeah.
We are going to be looking at his interview on the Andrew Huberman podcast.
Okay.
And I think that
Sounds intense.
it is.
Yeah.
It's intense. He is intense.
Mm-hmm.
He is a retired Navy SEAL and an ultramarathon runner.
Right.
And he is very well known for just his intense,
Yeah, his brutal honesty.
yeah, like in your face, like
No sugarcoating.
no sugarcoating.
Yeah.
This is how it is.
Mm.
So,
And it's not always fun.
yeah.
Sometimes it's not what you want to hear,
Right.
but it's what you need to hear.
Yeah, and he really kind of pushes us to confront what he calls our shtick. And we should
Well,
probably
okay, that.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
So basically our shtick is all of the negative experiences that we've had, the pain
Right.
that we usually try to avoid, that we don't want to think about.
The hard stuff.
The hard stuff.
Yeah.
And he really he had a really brutal childhood, like poverty, abuse, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he really uses that as his fuel
Mm-hmm.
to transform himself. He wasn't driven by rewards.
Oh,
It
interesting.
was driven by just not being in that place of pain anymore.
So almost like he flipped the script.
Yeah.
Instead of running towards pleasure, he's running away from pain.
Yes, and that's really the fuel that he uses.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's not just theory.
Right.
He actually did this.
Yeah.
I mean, in his 20s, he was obese, working a dead-end job,
Wow.
and just completely overhauled his life.
That takes a lot of willpower.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of willpower, and that is what we're talking about today is willpower.
Yeah. How do we get that? How do we cultivate that?
So he believes that willpower is a perishable skill.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like a muscle. You have to train it
Yeah.
constantly.
Right.
So it's not something that you just like, I've got willpower today.
You can't just like check it off the list.
Right. Like, I did it.
Like I'm good for life. I've got willpower.
You got to keep working on it.
So you have to keep training it.
Yeah.
So how does he suggest we do that?
Well, he thinks that, one way you can do it is like taking cold showers.
Oh, yeah. Cold showers are supposed to be good for you.
So if you force yourself to take a cold shower, you're actually training that willpower muscle.
But then if you stop, what
If
happens?
you stop, it weakens.
It goes away.
Like if you go back to your nice warm showers,
Right.
that muscle will start to shrink again.
Interesting. Okay.
So you got to stay hard.
Stay hard. He says that a lot, right?
Yes, he does.
Stay hard.
Stay hard.
Okay, so keep pushing those boundaries.
Yeah, and it's not just physical.
Right.
There's a mental component to this as well.
Absolutely.
So what does he say about that?
He really emphasizes the power of internal dialogue.
Okay.
And it's not just positive self-talk.
Right.
It's about confronting those negative voices in your head. You mean like instead of just trying to like push them down, we actually need to like acknowledge them.
Acknowledge them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Have that conversation with yourself.
That's counterintuitive, isn't it?
It is. He
Yeah.
calls it cleaning out the cupboards.
Cleaning out the cupboards. Okay.
So you got to get all the junk out of there.
All that negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have to acknowledge those weaknesses and fears, but then you also have to
But don't just stay there.
don't stay there. You can't just live there.
Right.
You have to then draw on your past victories
Right.
to kind of push forward.
So it's like a two-way conversation.
Yes.
Acknowledge the bad stuff, but then remind yourself of all the great stuff you've done.
Yes.
Okay.
He has a really good example.
Okay. Let's hear it.
He hates running,
He hates running.
but he's an ultramarathon runner.
Right.
And so he uses that hatred of
Oh.
running to fuel his
Okay.
incredible ultramarathon feats.
So he's like, I hate this. I hate this. I'm going to keep doing it.
He's going to keep going. Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't want to do this,
Yeah.
but I'm going to remember
You've done it before.
I've done it before.
Wow.
And so he's built this like internal medicine cabinet
I love that analogy.
of confidence.
Okay.
And he's filled it with all of these.
Of his past experience.
Yes, all of his struggles, his
Yeah.
triumphs.
Yeah.
And that allows him to stay focused on his goals,
Mm-hmm.
even when he's surrounded by negativity or distraction.
I mean, that makes it, yeah, we're constantly being bombarded by negativity and distractions.
Especially now with social media.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Right.
So how do we build one of these internal medicine cabinets?
Well,
Can you just buy it on Amazon?
I wish.
Right.
But no, you can't.
So what do we have to do?
So you have to think back to those times.
Like, what am I good at?
Well, think back to the times when you faced adversity
Okay.
and you came out stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Write those down.
Okay. Write down the experiences, how they made you feel,
Okay.
and the strategies you used to overcome them.
Oh, so this is like a journal
Yeah,
almost.
you can think of it like a journal or like, I like the medicine cabinet
I
analogy.
like that too.
So you're building up,
Like your own little pharmacy of
yeah,
like positive,
of things that you can draw on.
yeah, like pick me
Yeah,
ups.
when you're facing a new obstacle.
So I'm feeling down, I'm gonna go to my medicine cabinet and be like,
Yep,
all right, what helped me get through that last time?
exactly.
Okay, I like it.
And so he takes it even a step further than that. He talks about capping his success.
Capping his success. What does that even mean?
So he's talking about deliberately choosing not to pursue certain opportunities,
What?
even if they seem beneficial.
Oh, so even if they're good for him,
If it would take him out of that zone of discomfort,
you won't do it.
he won't do it.
Wow.
He believes that staying hungry,
Mm-hmm.
even turning down money or fame,
What?
is crucial to maintaining that drive. So he's like actively turning down
Yes.
success.
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty mind-blowing,
Yeah.
especially in a world where we're constantly told to
It's to do more.
do more, to achieve more,
Get more.
to be more.
Yeah.
So how do we apply this principle
Well,
without actually turning down, major opportunities?
well, I think it's about finding ways to keep pushing your own boundaries,
Oh,
even within your current situation.
so maybe instead of like quitting your job,
Right.
maybe you take on a new project at work.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you finally commit to that hobby that you've been putting off.
Right. Like I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar.
Right.
I'm going to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's about identifying those areas where you've become complacent.
Right. Where you're just kind of coasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to challenge yourself.
To step outside of that comfort zone.
Yes.
Got it.
And that's really what he's all about, is
So he wants us to be
he
uncomfortable.
wants us to be uncomfortable.
Interesting.
Because that's where the growth happens.
So all this time I've been trying to be comfortable.
I know, me too.
And he's like, no, no, no.
You got to get uncomfortable.
Be uncomfortable.
And he actually says,
What does he say?
I mean, this is one of his famous quotes.
Okay.
He says, the biggest misunderstanding about David Goggins of all time is he put this lab rat, which is me, on this planet and said, let me
I can't say the word on the
Yeah.
podcast.
See what a beat up, abused kid
Yeah.
who can barely learn, who has a twisted body, messed up genetics.
Oh, wow. He's listing all of his...
He's listing all
Let's
of
say
his
yeah.
limitations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sickle cell this and that can do.
He's like, let's see what this kid can do.
Yes.
Wow.
And he doesn't see himself as superhuman.
Right.
He sees himself as someone who chose to confront his limitations head on
Yeah.
and push past them.
Like if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And so it makes me think like,
Right.
okay, so how do you balance this relentless pursuit of self-improvement with,
With being a human.
yeah,
Yeah. Like,
it's pretty intense.
he is very intense.
Yeah.
And I think he even acknowledges that.
Does he?
He does.
What does he say?
He says that, this lifestyle isn't for everyone.
Okay.
He's not trying to create an army of clones.
Right.
He's just sharing
His journey.
his journey
Yeah.
and the principles that have worked for him.
And if it resonates with you, great.
Yes.
And if not,
You can take what you want from it.
that's fine too.
Yeah. And leave the rest.
He's not going to come knocking on your door.
No, he's not.
Okay.
So really it's about finding what works for you.
Right.
But the point is that we all have the power to change
Mm.
and to overcome our limitations and to create the lives we want.
So it all comes back to that self-reliance.
It does.
That was the theme I was picking up on.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's all about that core principle of self-reliance.
Okay.
Taking ownership of our thoughts,
Mm.
our choices,
Yeah.
our actions.
Our lives.
Our lives, yes.
Okay.
So I think we've established that, Goggins is all about confronting your stick,
Mm-hmm.
building that internal medicine cabinet,
Yeah.
and staying in that zone of discomfort
By capping your success.
by capping your success.
Great.
So where do we go from here?
Well, I think we need to delve deeper into like,
Yeah.
how do we actually train this willpower?
Yeah, how do you do it?
How do you do it?
Like, what are the tactics?
Yeah, what does he actually do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also I want to talk about, his views on failure
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of radical honesty.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned.
All right. I'm ready.
We got a lot more to cover.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're back and still thinking about David Goggins.
Yeah.
And this idea of like capping your success.
It's hard to wrap your head around. Yeah. I mean, in a culture where we're always told to, strive for more.
To do more. To be
more.
more.
Yeah. Be more, achieve more. It's just like, wait a minute.
You're telling me to stop?
Yeah.
To stop achieving?
And he's not really saying to stop achieving.
Okay.
He's saying that, true growth comes from...
From being hungry?
Yes, staying hungry.
Yeah, okay.
From constantly pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone.
So, like, complacency is the enemy.
Yes. Complacency is the enemy of progress.
I can see that.
And so that's where this whole, like, willpower being a perishable skill comes in.
Yeah.
You don't just, like, go to the gym once.
And then you're done.
And then you're, like, ripped for life.
Yeah, I wish.
Right.
But you were saying it's the same with willpower.
You got to keep training it.
Okay.
You got to keep working those muscles.
So how do we do that?
Well, how do we do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the question is, like, what are the tactics?
Right. Does he give us, like, a list?
He does. He gives us some ideas. It's about identifying those tasks or habits that we tend to avoid.
Okay.
The things that make us want to hit the snooze button.
Yeah, like, I don't want to do that.
And you intentionally lean into them.
Oh, so you're saying, like...
You got to do the hard thing.
Do the things you don't want to do.
Yes.
I don't like that.
I know.
But, okay. It's making me think.
But it's true. It's like those moments of resistance.
Right.
Turn them into opportunities for growth.
It's like facing your fears.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it all ties back to this whole, like, cleaning out the cupboards idea.
Right.
Getting
rid of the junk.
Get rid of the junk.
Yeah.
But it's not just about getting rid of the junk.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging that it's there.
The negative thoughts.
Yes, the negative thoughts, the fears that are holding us back.
Yeah.
And then actively challenging them.
So instead of just trying to, like, push them down and pretend they don't exist.
Yes.
We have to actually, like, confront them. And that makes me uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But he would say that that's the point.
Really?
Yeah. He argues that that's the only way to truly gain control.
Control of your mind.
Yes, over your internal narrative.
So this isn't just about positive thinking.
Yeah.
He's talking about, like, real honesty.
Yes, radical honesty.
Radical honesty with yourself.
With yourself.
Oh.
About recognizing your weaknesses and using them as fuel for growth.
Okay.
He even talks about the importance of failing.
Failing.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're always trying to avoid?
I know, but he embraces it.
He does?
Yes, he says you have to learn how to fail properly.
Properly. What does that even mean?
Because you're going to fail a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
On the path to self-mastery.
So he's not saying, like, don't be afraid to fail.
No.
He's saying you're going to fail.
You're going to fail, so get used to it.
And learn from it.
And learn from it.
Okay.
So it's almost like...
Like, failure's a part of success.
Yeah, it's not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to it.
Okay.
But how do we actually shift our mindset?
Yeah, how do we not be afraid of failure?
To embrace failure rather than fear it.
Yeah.
It starts with recognizing that failure is inevitable.
Yeah, that is true.
No one achieves greatness.
Without falling down a few times?
Without stumbling along the way.
Yeah.
So instead of viewing failure as a reflection of your worth.
Which I think a lot of us do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try to see it as valuable feedback.
Feedback?
Yeah, a chance to learn and adjust your approach.
So you're saying, like, if I fail at something?
Yes.
Instead of being like, oh, I'm a failure.
Yes.
I should be like, okay, what can I learn from this?
What went wrong?
How can I do better next time?
Exactly.
Reframe it.
Reframe it, yeah.
As an opportunity for growth.
Instead of a sign of defeat?
Yes.
I like that.
It's empowering.
It is. Yeah.
When you think about it that way.
It's like, oh, I'm not a failure. I'm just learning.
I'm on my way to success.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it takes discipline.
It does.
To actually put that into practice.
But this is where that inner critic comes back.
Yeah.
Those voices in your head.
Yes, those negative voices that are like, you're not good enough.
You're going to fail.
You're going to fail.
Yeah.
And he's like, those are just thoughts.
Not facts.
Not facts.
Okay.
You have the power to choose which thoughts you listen to.
So I can choose to ignore that.
And which ones you challenge.
Okay.
He actually talks about using those negative voices to his advantage.
Oh, wow, really?
Like turning them into his personal hype man.
So he's like, thanks for the motivation.
Yeah.
I want to prove you wrong.
Exactly.
Wow, he's like weaponizing his negativity.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's a master of internal dialogue.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's using his inner critic to fuel his growth.
Yes.
Instead of letting it sabotage him.
Right.
So it's not about like silencing the critic.
No.
It's about transforming it.
Yes.
Into like a source of power.
Yes, a source of motivation and resilience.
Okay. This is deep.
This is deep, yeah.
I mean, he's really like...
He's going there.
He's going there.
Yeah.
He's willing to like delve into those uncomfortable truths about himself and share them with the world.
And I think that's what makes him so compelling.
Yes.
Like, he's not afraid to be vulnerable.
He's not.
Yeah.
And I think, he's inviting us to do the same.
To be vulnerable with ourselves.
Take a good hard look in the mirror.
The accountability mirror.
The accountability mirror, yes.
Yeah.
And be brutally honest.
About our strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
Okay.
And while his methods might seem extreme.
They are pretty extreme.
They are.
Yeah.
I think there's a powerful message there for all of us.
What's the message?
It's that we have the power to change.
Okay.
To overcome our limitations.
Mm-hmm.
And to create the lives that we want.
So it all comes back to that self-reliance, that ownership of your life. Yes, taking ownership of your thoughts, your choices, your actions.
Your destiny.
Your destiny.
Okay.
And, Goggins' story is a testament to that transformative power.
Of self-belief.
For self-belief, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he started from nothing.
From nothing.
A place of immense pain and adversity.
Yeah.
And he built himself into the man he is today.
Just through sheer willpower.
Through sheer willpower and determination.
That's incredible.
It's inspiring.
It is.
And he's challenging us to do the same.
To look in the mirror.
To examine our own cupboards.
Clean out those cupboards.
Clean out those cupboards.
Yeah.
Confront those fears and insecurities.
That are holding us back.
And start building
our own internal medicine cabinet.
Our own internal medicine cabinet of confidence. Yeah. It's not about becoming David Goggins.
Right.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
I like that.
And that journey begins with a single step.
One step.
One choice.
To do what?
To embrace discomfort. Oh, there's that discomfort again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Push beyond those self-imposed limitations.
To stay hard.
To stay hard.
Okay. I'm ready for part 3.
Okay, so we're back. Wrapping up our deep dive on Goggins.
Yeah.
And this idea of self-reliance.
Yeah, he's big on that.
He really is. Like that unshakable inner strength,
Like you got to have that core.
You got to have that core.
That doesn't crumble.
When things get tough.
Yeah.
And, he talks about building that internal medicine cabinet, like that reservoir of self-belief.
Yeah, all those victories, those wins.
Yeah, you can draw on those.
When you're struggling.
When you're facing a new challenge.
Yeah.
And what I think is so interesting is that he doesn't rely on external validation.
Right.
Or motivation.
He doesn't need anybody to tell him he's doing a good job.
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the likes or the followers.
He's not looking for trophies.
No. It's all about that internal.
It's got to come from within.
It's got to come from within.
And it's a powerful message.
It is.
Because, we're always being told
to look outside ourselves.
For validation.
Yeah.
For that approval. For those measures of success.
Yeah.
The money, the fame.
The followers.
And he's like, no.
Tune it out.
Tune it out.
Focus on what matters.
Focus on what matters to you.
To you, yeah.
Define success on your own terms.
Yeah, I like that.
And that self-reliance, it extends to his relationships, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's pretty upfront about the sacrifices that his lifestyle demands.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be, a Navy SEAL and an ultramarathon runner.
And a family man.
And just
go to all the soccer games.
Yeah, and have dinner on the table every night at 6.
Right.
Okay. So what does he say about that?
He says that he makes sure that the people in his life understand his needs.
Okay.
And that they're taken care of.
So he's not neglecting them.
No, he's not neglecting them, but he's very clear about
his priorities.
And so it's all about setting those boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
Having those honest conversations.
Sometimes difficult conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
That allow for mutual respect.
Mutual respect and understanding.
Yes.
So everybody's on the same page.
Everybody knows what's up.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where his message can be challenging for people.
Yeah. Especially if you're used to, people pleasing.
Yes. Or relying on others for motivation.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
Do it yourself.
You got to do it yourself.
You're responsible for your own happiness.
Yes.
Wow.
Step into your own power.
Okay.
Take ownership of your life.
Yeah.
Create your own definition of success.
He's like, be your own person.
Be your own person.
Yeah.
And it can be scary.
It can be.
But it's also incredibly liberating.
You can be both.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his story,
it's pretty amazing.
It's amazing what he's accomplished.
From where he started.
I know, from nothing.
Yeah.
He started with nothing but pain and adversity.
Yeah, and he turned it into fuel.
He turned it into fuel.
Wow.
And he built himself into this incredible...
force of nature.
Yes, a force of nature.
Okay.
And, you know, he's challenging us to do the same.
So look in the mirror.
To examine our own cupboards.
Clean out those cupboards.
Clean out those cupboards.
Yeah.
Confront those fears, those insecurities that are holding us back.
And build our own medicine cabinets.
Build your own medicine cabinet.
Of confidence.
Of confidence.
Yeah.
It's not about becoming David Goggins.
Right.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
I like that.
And that journey.
It starts with a single step.
It starts with a single step.
And what is that step?
It's making that choice.
The choice
to embrace the discomfort.
To push beyond those limits.
To stay hard.
To stay hard, yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it.
That's Goggins.
That's Goggins, folks.
Wow.
What a deep dive.
It was a deep dive.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was great.
And we'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good.